Send your stories to our Facebook page for a chance to be featured in our videos. Link is in the description. I remember the first time I encountered a skinwalker. It was a chilly October night, and I was camping deep in the heart of the Colorado Rockies with a group of friends. We had heard the legends of skinwalkers, but we never truly believed in them until that night. As the campfire crackled and the stars lit up the sky, we shared stories and laughter. But then, we heard it, a distant, eerie howl that sent shivers down our spines. We brushed it off as a coyote and continued our chatter, but that howl didn't sound like any animal we knew. Soon, the atmosphere changed. The fire dimmed, and the forest grew quiet, as if nature itself was holding its breath. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching us. I glanced at my friends, and their faces mirrored my unease. Then, out of the darkness, a figure emerged. It was a tall, shadowy silhouette, moving with unnatural grace. At first, we thought it was just a trick of the flickering firelight, but as it drew closer, we saw it more clearly. It was a creature that defied explanation, a humanoid shape with the fur and features of a wolf but standing upright on two legs. Panic set in as the creature approached our campsite. We reached for our flashlights and weapons, but they felt useless against this otherworldly intruder. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural, malevolent light that seemed to pierce through our very souls. Without a word, the creature let out another chilling howl, and then it began to mimic our voices. It called out to us in the voices of our loved ones, taunting us, playing with our deepest fears. It knew our names, our secrets, and it used them against us. Terror gripped us as the skinwalker circled our campsite, moving impossibly fast. It was as if it could be in multiple places at once, a nightmarish blur of fur and fangs. We huddled together, praying for the dawn to break and release us from this living nightmare. As the first rays of sunlight crept over the horizon, the skinwalker let out a final, blood-curdling scream and vanished into the forest. We wasted no time in packing up our camp and leaving the woods behind. We never spoke of that night again, but the memory of the encounter still haunts our dreams. It was a sweltering summer day in the Arizona desert when I had my first encounter with a skinwalker. I had been traveling alone, exploring the rugged terrain and taking in the breathtaking beauty of the arid landscape. Little did I know, I was about to witness something far more sinister. As I hiked through the desolate wilderness, the heat bore down on me relentlessly. I had been walking for hours, and my water supply was running dangerously low. Just when I thought I couldn't take another step, I heard a faint rustling in the distance. Curiosity got the better of me, and I followed the sound to a rocky outcrop. There, I saw a lone figure, hunched over and covered in tattered, desert-colored clothing. At first, I thought it was just a fellow hiker in need of assistance, but something about the situation felt off. I cautiously approached the figure and called out, asking if they needed help. That's when the person turned around, and I saw their face, or what should have been their face. Instead, it was a grotesque mask of animal features, like a twisted combination of a coyote and a human. My heart pounded in my chest as I realized I was face to face with a skinwalker. Its eyes locked onto mine, and I felt a sense of dread wash over me. I knew I needed to get away, but my legs felt like lead, and fear paralyzed me. The skinwalker began to speak, its voice a guttural, unnatural growl. It told me it had been cursed to wander the desert for eternity, seeking souls to torment. It spoke of ancient rituals and dark magic, and how it had once been a person like me but had traded its humanity for power. As the creature approached, I mustered every ounce of strength and broke into a run. It pursued me with a supernatural speed that defied reason, but I knew I couldn't give up. I raced through the unforgiving desert, the scorching sand burning my feet, and the skinwalker's malevolent laughter echoing in my ears. Hours later, I stumbled upon a small town, and the sun was beginning to set. The SkinWalker had vanished, and I was safe for the moment. I never spoke of that encounter to anyone, fearing they would think me insane. But the memory of the curse of the desert and the SkinWalker's haunting presence will stay with me forever. Growing up on the Navajo reservation, I had always heard stories about SkinWalkers. They were the stuff of nightmares, tales whispered around campfires to keep children from straying too far from home. But I never truly believed in them until that fateful summer when I returned to my ancestral land. I had been away for years, pursuing my education and career, but I felt the call of home pulling me back. As I settled into the small house that had been in my family for generations, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching me. The nights were the worst. I would hear eerie, unexplained sounds outside my window, footsteps, whispers, and strange, mournful howls. I tried to rationalize it, blaming it on the wind or the wild animals that roamed the desert, but deep down, I knew it was something more sinister. One moonless night, as I lay in bed, I heard a soft tapping on my window. I held my breath and strained to see through the darkness. There, illuminated by the faint glow of the stars, was a figure, tall and thin, with long, bony fingers that scraped against the glass. My heart raced as I realized I was face to face with a SkinWalker. Its eyes glowed like burning embers, and its expression was a cruel mockery of a smile. It beckoned me to come closer, its voice a sinister whisper that sent shivers down my spine. I knew I couldn't stay in that house any longer. With a sense of urgency, I packed my bags and left the reservation, seeking refuge with relatives in a neighboring town. But the SkinWalker's presence seemed to follow me, appearing in my dreams and haunting my waking hours. I consulted a medicine man, who performed a cleansing ritual to protect me from the malevolent spirit. He told me that the SkinWalker had sensed my return to the reservation and was drawn to me, perhaps seeking revenge for intruding on its territory. Over time, the nightmares and the sightings grew less frequent, and I began to rebuild my life on the reservation. But I can never forget the chilling encounter with the SkinWalker, a reminder that ancient legends and dark forces still hold sway in the land of my ancestors.